March 1911, in the heart of New York. The Ash Building stands at 10 stories high, with 200 employees working on each floor. On each cramped floor sat workers day and night getting 1 penny an hour. In the Triangle Shirtwaist factory, located on the 8th, 9th, and 10th floors of the Ash Building. In the factory, workers would work from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. To them, this was a normal 14-hour day.
In a day's length, you were treated like dirt under your feet, and if you were caught doing anything but sewing, your pay will be docked.
Another thing that went on was the lighting in a room. Their only lighting was a wall of windows in a large room full of people, so you could very easily be cut or punctured by needles.
Floors were oily because of the machines, and scraps of material lay scattered all around. During that day, Max Blank and Isaac Harris, the owners, would lock the doors so that employees could not escape during business hours. This was against the law at the time.
But it was on March 25, 1911, at 4:40 p.m. when terror rung through the Ash Building. A blazing fire swept through the 8th floor. Through all the commotion, most employees forgot that the main door to the street below was locked.
By the hundreds, employees struggled to make it to the 33-inch wide staircase. Women in their long skirts had difficulty running without falling. People were trampled trying to escape. Many obstacles stood in their way.
The workers that were trapped in the building decided to extinguish the fire with emergency water buckets that were kept under the tables during factory hours. There was just one small problem. The buckets had holes in them. So employees tried a different route using the old fire escapes, but within minutes it collapsed to the street below.
I know what you're thinking. Why are all these precautions failing? Easy. They cared more about their bottom line than the safety of the workers.
As soon as Blank and Harris got word of the fire, they knew exactly what they would do. They would go up instead of down.
When the fire started, Blank and Harris made their way to the roof of the building and jumped across the narrow alley that separated the Ash Building from the building next door.
For some workers, things were getting so bad they decided to jump through the tall windows, then be burned.
When the inspectors and firefighters had made their last trip through the building, they counted a staggering 146 dead employees, almost one-third of the factory staff.
After the fire, protests broke out across the country against labor law and poor working conditions that changed the course of history forever.
After Blank and Harris had been charged with manslaughter, they attended court on December 4, 1911, and were strangely found innocent. They were only obligated to pay a mere $75 per person to each family, costing Blank and Harris $10,950, almost equivalent to $250,000 today.
Protests changed laws, factories, and even the owners themselves, but there was one small thing that was weird about Blank and Harris. After the trial, they disappeared. But where to? That part remained a mystery for almost a century, waiting to be discovered.
It was because of the 146 people that died that day that we now have safer working conditions across the country. These include fire escapes, alarms, sprinkler systems, evacuation plans, and monthly fire drills.
All of these safety features tell us that all of these girls didn't die in vain.